Hello Level A and welcome to your assignment support video. Now I'm going to go through some slides that you may have already seen just to refresh and refocus you on this assignment that is due on the 4th of November. I'm not going to delve into adaptive strategies too much during this video, but I'm just going to give you a kind of an overview and some supporting tips as well. Okay, so let's dive straight into the slides. Okay, so here we have where you will be uploading your assignment to. So that will be via Moodle and it will be a Turnitin link, okay? And both 5 to 11 and 3 to 7 students you will submit on the same link, okay? And you will be able to submit up to 3 times on the same link. This link is not available yet on the Moodle, but I will send you an email when it is made live, and that will be probably during the half-term week, okay? Please upload as one document. Part 1, the essay, followed by your lesson plan on the next page, followed by your reference list. So it's all in one document, okay? What you can see on the slide here is the titles that the link will have. So it will be Assignment 1, Classroom Practice, Adaptive Teaching. And it's a pretty straightforward way of going through uploading into Turnitin, and then you will also receive a receipt with regards to the fact that you've done that. Okay. Your submission date and your submission details are Monday the 4th of November at 12 noon. Okay. The essay should be 4,500 words plus or minus 10%. Part 1 of your essay is 3,500 words, and part 2 is a lesson plan, which is that lesson plan we discussed from your last placement with 1,000 words added in a different colour of text, which shows how you have taken those adaptive strategies that you have used and identified in section 1, how you would reteach that lesson, but with these adaptive strategies now being featured within your lesson plan. That's what the 1,000 words should be. The weighting for this assignment is 30% of your overall marks for the course. So here in part 1, we can look at some of the information with regards to the ITT content framework from 2019, that pupils are likely to learn at different rates and to require different levels and types of support from teachers to succeed. With reference to your experiences in school, current research and reading discuss the importance of 2 adaptive teaching strategies that impact on personal progress. Your answers should include evidence of the following: rationale for the importance of adaptive teaching in the classroom. Why should we be using adaptive teaching strategies in our classrooms? Number 2 should be a detailed discussion of 2 adaptive teaching strategies used or observed in school with reference to how these can support different groups of children, for example, EAL, greater depth pupils or SEND pupils. Okay. Analysis and evaluation of relevant reading and references, which is going to be really important, and personal reflection on your own knowledge or of adaptive teaching, highlighting your key areas for development and how these will be addressed during your next placement. Remember, so this bit's really important, guys, okay? You are choosing 2 adaptive teaching strategies, but it is not required that you discuss these 2 strategies for all different groups that were previously mentioned. For example, you have chosen chunking and visuals. You might link these to an SEND children or children working at greater depth, but not EAL. Or you might choose to talk about adapting the environment and scaffolding for just EAL children. So the main focus here is the 2 adaptive teaching strategies and how you would use them. So always bring it back to the adaptive teaching strategies, not necessarily the groups that you would employ them with. And then part 2 of your assignment is to choose your lesson plan from PPL 1, okay, in any subject of your choice, okay. Think about the adaptive teaching strategies discussed in part 1 and how these could have been implemented to make this lesson plan better. So how could those have been implemented to support the different groups of children that you have taught? For example, those SEND children, those AAL children, or the greater depth children, depending on what you have focused on and chosen in the first part of your assignment, okay? So if you're speaking about how your adaptive teaching strategy has supported children with SEND, then you could focus on that in the part 2 of your assignment, okay? So that adaptive teaching strategy will be focusing on SEND children in the annotation of your plan. Using a different coloured font, this is really important to show the difference between the two, the previous work and now what you are adding to this plan because of these adaptive strategies. Add these strategies using a different coloured font in the assessment and adaptive teaching strategies column on the lesson plan. Okay? Then reflect on what the possible impact could have been and add this into the impact column. So if you had have known back then what you know now, how could your lesson have been better? What would the impact have been? Okay? Remember to refer to your previous feedback that has been given to you in your Year 1 assignment, and that's assignment 3. How children learn and cognitive development. So you're looking at that assignment, not necessarily for the content, but how have you been advised to become a better academic writer, okay? And then assignment 5 will also be really useful to you, which is your subject knowledge, pedagogies and learning theories. Again, looking at the feedback you got with regards to that lesson plan, and perhaps you could use some of that feedback to inform how you would use these strategies in a new lesson that you would be teaching. Just to remind you, adaptive teaching strategies that were available to you, or if you are previously in PPL 1, if you were placed in Year 1 to Year 6, choose 2 of the following strategies. Those are flexible grouping, learning environments, effective scaffolding, active learning, or adaptive interventions. If you were in placement last year in an EYFS setting, so that is nursery or reception, you will choose 2 of these strategies, which are use of teacher language, learning environment, resources, concrete, beyond mathematics, so not just for mathematics, and self-regulation strategies as well. And if you remember that group, in our first week, you will have had the session with Sophia where you stayed in the lecture theatre, and you can choose 2 of those 4 strategies. I would like you to take some time to focus on this document and make sure that you are looking towards the requirements for the first uppers, first lowers and 2 ones, making sure that you are really bolstering, say for example AO1, you are providing a good rationale or a clearly articulated rationale behind the actions, choices, and recognises the impact on teaching and learning. So you're really trying to drive towards that. There are no mysteries with this assignment, guys. Have a look at this document. Make sure that you are studying it and that is what you are aiming and planning towards. Here is a suggested reading list for you as well, which might support what you are doing, but I would strongly recommend not just relying on a number of key academic writers or key academic theorists. You will have to use some of this research from organisations like Ofsted, the Department of Education, as well as those academic writers. What that shows is that you've got a current understanding of education, not just a case of looking at those peer-reviewed articles, which you need to have, of course, in your writing, but also the Department for Education, Ofsted, other governmental papers on adaptive teaching as well. That will really help with your justification of why you are doing this assignment in the first place. So very, very best of luck with the rest of the completion of your assignment. If you do have any questions, please contact your PAT tutors and I'm sure they will be able to help you. All right, guys, best of luck. And if I don't speak to you beforehand, please make sure that you have some rest over half term. And I really look forward to reading your assignments. Thanks very much.